Diahanne, Diahanne, Diahanne.
Well, most of you do know or don't know what I do. I specialize in making illegal additions legal. People who build things and get caught. Now, how do you get an illegal addition? You buy it, you build it, or you inherited it. Mom and Dad did stuff, we cut them some slack. You bought it, your realtor was not honest with you, and if you built it, you were trying to cheat the tax man, because the assessor will get his money. Why do we like and don't like illegal additions? People like them because they think they're sort of getting around the rules of building and safety. And yes, building and safety is difficult on a good day. I have clients who think when they receive my information that they can do it. I send them on down there. If you want to waste a day, if you want to try to have a discussion about something you know nothing about, but yet you feel you can ask a question, knock yourself out. Building and safety makes me want to drink some days. And I go down there every day. I problem solve. And building and safety is a maze of problems. Because there's a saying in physics, for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. Well, for every code section, there's an equal and opposite code section. If you think you want to do something, you can't. But like, if you want to do something and you know the rules, you can. I had a code professor at LA Trade Tech. His name was Alexander Bruce. And he was an old white guy who did not like black people, did not like women, did not like anybody. But he taught you how to fight with inspectors. He taught you how to go to war. Because if you're going to go to war against an inspector, A, make sure whatever you're building you can stand the inspection, and B, call out his boss and bring on the dancing girls. Because you are now going to make him look about this big in his boss's eyes, and you will ultimately win. Mahatma Gandhi had a saying, first they laugh, then they fight you, and then you win. I live in an arena in which I fight every day. It's just get up, lock and load, go to building and safety, and go to war. But it's not really a fight, because this is the dragon I have chosen to slay every day. We pick our battles. All of you all have business or trade, and you pick your battles. My battle helps you to be able to enjoy your property, live better, make your life good. Now, back to illegal additions, and then we'll go to ADUs. Illegal additions are a massive liability. Should you or anyone trip and fall over a threshold that is 3/4 of an inch too tall, and you knock out your front teeth, or someone knocks out their front teeth, you're on the hook. A, you're on the hook because one, the building or the portion of the building that you're in is not habitable. And habitable means that someone inhabits it. If they're living in it, any attorney worth his salt, the first thing he's going to do is look for a permit. And if you don't have that permit, in pardon expression, you are shit out of luck. Because he's going to take your money, and you're going to hand over your wallet, and you're going to hope he leaves you some. It sounds funny, but it isn't. Because everybody knows somebody who's done something really incredibly stupid, thinking that they were in fact saving money, and they are not saving money. They're putting themselves in a position to be harmed. And there's nothing worse than holding a gun, turning it at yourself, and pulling the trigger, because you don't know how you're going to shoot yourself. But when you have an illegal addition, that's what you're potentially doing. Now, a lot of people, and if I had 100 of me in LA, I would not make a difference. This is a city of 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10 million people. There are garage conversions. Garage conversions help you crack the nut every month. But if it's an illegal garage conversion, you're cracking the nut, but you're playing with the gun. Now, regulations have come into effect as of January 2020, which allow for wonderful things to happen in the city, the state of California. City of Los Angeles, state of California, anywhere in California. For those of you that are investors, buy any property, anywhere, in an R1 zone, or in any zone, and you can make it 3 units. You got a commercial piece of property and you want to put an ADU on it, you can do it. You have an R1 zone, fundamentally, it will be now, it won't change its zone, but it can have 3 units on it. If you have a commercial building that is a rentable, multi-family building of 10, 12, 15, 20 units, and you want to increase its size, in a multi-family building, you can take a storage room as long as it meets certain code elements, and you can make it a unit. There are so many wonderful ways now to take what you have and make it bigger. And making it bigger simply means that, yeah, you'll pay a few more taxes, but now you've got a greater stream of income. And cracking the nut every month is critical. If you want to create a unit, but you want to take that unit with you, there is now a tiny house ordinance. If the little house that you build is less than 2 stories and movable, you can move it on your lot and rent it. Tremendous possibilities now to make some money out of your property. I had the opportunity last week to speak to a group of women realtors about accessory dwelling units. It's the best thing since sliced bread. Why? Because sliced bread, you just pull it apart and you put your meat in it or whatever in it. When you have bread that is not cut, you have to tear it apart. We no longer have to tear apart the rules of building and safety to be able to utilize them. And I suggest that every one of you who has a home and a garage, or not a garage, utilize this. Now, to go from a 1 unit to a 3 unit, we have the ADU, which is an accessory dwelling unit, and we have the JDU, Junior Accessory Dwelling Unit. The Junior Accessory Dwelling Unit must be part of the single-family dwelling. So, you got a 1,500 square foot house, 2,000 square foot house, build an addition on it that's less than 600 square feet, put a separate entrance on it, put a kitchen in it, a bathroom in it. It can utilize the existing plumbing of the house, unlike an ADU. And that's the first one. So there are ways to go from 1 unit to 2 units to 3 units. They're not making any more land. You already own the land if you own the house. Make the house work for you. Any questions?
Are
Sarah?
they lenient on the setbacks then?
Yes, setbacks used to
What's
be.
the question?
The question was, what about setbacks? Before, when you had a 50-foot wide lot, you were required to have a 5-foot setback. Now, you can have a 4-foot setback if you're building a new one. If you have an existing permit for the garage, there are 0 setbacks. That means if the garage is on the property line, you can, you can change it. Now, there's a small caveat with that. If you have power lines in the rear of your property, you have what is known as an easement. And that's an easement for access to the power lines. You cannot build within an easement. Now, if there's a 3-foot easement, and you are 3'4", and those 4 inches are your eave, you don't redo the wall, you cut the eave. make it easy. If you are within 12 feet of the easement, if you're not within 12 feet of a 5-foot easement, then your ADU building and safety plan can literally be over the counter. There's all sorts of great rules, and I hope everybody does them. One more quick question?
If you're gonna, someone hires you to do an ADU, do you have the structural engineers, architects to bring all that to fruition with plans?
The question that was asked was, does Plans R Us facilitate the whole process with architects, engineers, etc.? Yes, we are one-stop shopping. Some people will do your plans and then hand you off the plans. You don't know what you're doing. I fight with building and safety. We put the building permit in your hand and can assist you with a contract or whatever.
Let's hear it for Diahanne Payne, everyone.